I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. Don't second guess it, I let it set it. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. This is Danny G, sitting alongside Rio and Jimmer today, and it feels good to be back. It's been a long week. I missed you boys. I did catch the podcast. I listened to it actually a couple different times. And I think the only notes that I had were you guys had good shit. It was a good time. You guys had I was impressed.
Shabby, right?
Yeah. It was a good time.
Yeah, nice work. A lot of talk about Bama and that crazy shit. And I did the story about Stetson Bennett is fucking awesome.
It is
right?
awesome. Yeah, he actually transferred out for a year, went to junior college, and then come back. Ends up winning the job.
Learned how to become a national champion.
And
oh, sweet.
Yeah, and they all year they received, like, the coach was getting hell from everybody saying you're not going to win a national championship with him, and he stuck with him. He wrote it out, and they got the chip.
There's images and video of him, and I assume it's more like a prank or anything. Like, kind of, can you tell who this guy is? Serving chicken sandwiches and shit like that at that not Chick-fil-A, but it's something like that, like from like down south. People pulling up through the drive-thru, and he's handing them their stuff and. Just an ordinary-looking guy. So.
I don't know if you guys saw the day after the championship.
Oh, he was hungover on
hammered.
Oh yeah,
I caught that. I think I saw it on like Barstool or something.
Yep.
And he was just hammered, and he started getting philosophical and shit. And oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
what you want to see, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He celebrated.
He's
Hell
a guy's
yeah.
guy, you know.
Yep.
Having fun after winning a chip. So.
Hell yeah.
You gonna hit him up? What's up? Since he wasn't here.
Oh yeah.
He pays us. He needs to return money for personal day because we don't get paid yet.
Yeah, that's right. No,
yeah, we talked about that. Double negative means I get paid.
Right. Yeah.
So,
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. Shit. We came out negative twice.
That's true. Now, I had a couple questions that I asked, and they're kind of interesting, so I wanted to see what your take was, especially on one of them. What is the most useless thing that you know how to do?
Yeah, I thought about this after I listened to the last episode, and I am fucking amazing at spreading peanut butter on sandwiches.
On just sandwiches?
On sandwiches and wherever the peanut butter needs to go.
Especially if there's a dog present.
Yeah, Danny's been tricked a few times in his life.
No, I'm telling you, I'm really good at that. It's weird though, like. Early when Sam and I were together, like she was like,
"Hold on, I need to see this before I can verify that you're good at spreading peanut butter."
Yeah, just talk to my wife. It's weird. She literally said to me, like, I could just watch you make peanut butter sandwiches every day, like, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I've eaten a lot of fucking peanut butter.
Get her a little hot.
So
Do you get her a little hot and bothered?
What's up?
I guess.
What's
yeah.
up, girl?
Yeah, she's a big fan. But that's I get it though in the moment. That's tough to answer, man. Writing in cursive is a good one. Mm-hmm. Shit like that. Like, why do we even do that? But
yeah. The other one I wanted you to answer was, what would be the worst way to die?
I was really surprised you guys didn't say this, but burning alive, I think, would be the worst way to die. I think I get your point. So you said the tsunami, right? Mm-hmm. It'd be scary as shit. Mm-hmm. But drowning, you die instantly. There's not a lot of pain you deal with and things like that. If you burn alive, say you're stuck in your home, you're at the top floor, you can't go anywhere, you can't even jump out a window, let's say, and you just sit there and you burn alive. Like, there's a ton of different ways you're getting hurt. You're burning, you can't breathe, there's all this. Personally, I'd say being burned alive would be the worst. Yeah.
Being engulfed is what bugged me about like, obviously, you're seeing it happen. You're watching the tsunami come through, and then you're also going to drown on top of it. So the fear before you even get there, before it actually strikes.
Yep.
And that's what helped separate that for me. Okay. We did hear an interesting one at work, and it's a great thought. I
die by Jimmer's farts.
Yeah. Well, don't walk back there then.
That's your time.
Didn't you get your shirt starched by Marv once?
Dude, we were in this control room, and Marv, like, instead of moving to the side.
It is kind of a long control room.
It's a long control room, so he could literally walk to the other side of the room. What does he do? He farts on my back. Like, there was, like, my back was a little wet
damn it.
from the fart coming out. And
While he was sitting in a chair at the control board.
Dude, and I know about that, man. When he farts, it sounds like he's shitting his pants. It's not a fart, dude.
But you know,
That's not good.
right? But you know
yeah.
when Marv farts, though.
Yeah.
Like, not even by sound. You just
He
look
can't
at his
hide it.
face.
Yeah,
he can't hide it to save his life.
Yep.
that's true.
If it was like, hey, we're going to kidnap your daughter if you can't fucking pass farting and not smiling.
Nope.
Fucking,
She's gone.
Yeah, you'd have to. Yeah, I was going to say you had to go Liam Neeson up in this bitch afterwards because he's giving it up.
That'd be a crazy thing. Somebody just take your daughter, and that's the stipulation.
That's the stipulation, no doubt.
Hey, there could be crazier ones. We've talked about crazier scenarios.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, damn. Yeah, those were the only two, right?
I had another one, but we don't-
Later.
I don't-
From the last time, though.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I have some more questions for later on.
Okay.
Jimmer.
Hey,
you got anything for us?
I do. But first off, I want to give a shout out because me and Rio did forget to do it in the last one. We want to say thank you so much. We rolled over 1,000 listens, so we barely been at 3 months doing this. So may not seem like a lot to some people, but 1,000 listens—that's one hell of a milestone. Like we hit our 50th episode. What was it? Probably about 5 ago or so, something like that.
Yeah.
1,000 listens, it's huge, and we appreciate it. We do, and we hope it continues to grow.
Yeah, it's huge. We appreciate all the feedback, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
It's all been big,
interaction
man.
and
1,000 is such a big number. You can't even fathom that at the
No.
beginning,
Yeah.
right?
No.
1,000 of anything is a big number.
right.
Yeah. Well, while you hit news and notes or whatever else you're gonna do, I'm gonna pay up on this. There was a vote, so it was a 2-1 vote.
It was 2-1 to vote.
I had to take a shot of this delicious 10
It was
high.
actually half the bottle. That was the vote.
I didn't hear that. Did not hear that.
I heard it.
Yeah, we was there.
We was there.
Somebody
seen it.
was.
I seen it with my eyes.
it.
You got good at editing, Rio, because I missed all of that, bro.
It's crazy, man.
What did I tell you? I'm gonna knock out a few little things here. First off,
Fuck. I forgot about that.
That
man.
is bad.
Oh, fuck. All right.
You're going to knock out a few little things. Hopefully you keep your pants up.
I haven't eaten.
there's
So
no
that's
prom-
not- I
there's
might
no
be hammered by
promise
the
to
end of this.
that. That's for
So
sure.
it's not good.
So I'm gonna throw one out there quick before I get to the news, okay? And that is, I want you to try to name this movie quote. Since this is my first time doing this one, and most of them are they're gonna be comedies, I'm gonna toss you one that I believe should be easy for both you gentlemen. All right, for a layup for our first one. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Do
I need
Tropic Thunder?
No,
Was that?
no.
No.
Do I need to put more of the
Yeah.
accent into it?
Yeah.
That how he
Yeah.
does it?
Yeah.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
So it's Rush Hour. That's
There you
what
go.
we're talking about. Oh, my God. I
Okay.
can't even.
Oh, dude,
I'm like,
get
I need
you
this
some.
dog shit to.
Yikes.
Hold on, that was nice and cold.
Ugh.
No, and he missed the cup. What the
Yeah,
hell?
I did.
Dude, he's already drunk. Cut him off.
Cut him off. Oh, man, he poured it on the table.
That Diet Coke doesn't even, tame it down.
Yeah, you got to
No.
you got to get the real
Dude,
stuff.
Tyler flat out told us that. He's like, you can't.
yeah, he
you
did.
can't mix drink that down. You
Yeah.
can't do it. You know how you mix drink it down? You don't put it in.
Oh man.
You don't put it in, and then you pretend like you did.
Yep.
All right.
Good for him.
We'll go ahead and get her kicked off here then. The Texans surprisingly fired head coach David Coley after just one season, gentlemen.
Yeah, that's tough for him. Tyrod not there. He was out a lot of the year, but
And then Deshaun before that.
yeah,
He did that without Deshaun.
without Deshaun, won 4 games. You talked about that was Deshaun's big thing was like, I've won you 4 games on this horrible team. You need me. And did they win 5? Did they end up getting 5?
Yep.
So
Not this year. Last year.
oh,
With him.
right. And so for him to do that, at least get 4 with that horrible roster.
They did everything they could to lose every single game, right? As in,
Besides putting 40 on the Chargers,
Right.
Yeah.
Roster-wise, yeah.
right,
Yeah.
roster-wise. They did
Roster-wise, yeah.
everything they possibly could, and that's what you do
Yeah.
to them?
Yeah, so I think, and it's a mistake, it's a bad bet on their part, but they're hoping to get one of these bigger name guys. So they're hoping to get McDaniels or like Dougie P or something like that. That's what they want to do. I don't know that if you're either one of those guys, you want to go to Houston.
Want to go there.
Yeah, with that ownership is terrible, man.
Yeah. Well, so here's an interesting question for you then, because what is our favorite team looking for? A head coach. Would you be
Yeah.
upset if they hired David Coley? from what he got out of that roster.
No, if we ended up with him, I wouldn't be upset. But if we took him and didn't even look at like McDaniels or Dougie P or
you don't look at McDaniels. Don't even flirt with that. I'm not saying that he shouldn't. I'm not taking a shot at him. I think he's. I think he has potential. He's going to stay there no matter what. He's already spurned one team. You gotta
throw fucking. You gotta take a shot, right?
Maybe
you gotta.
Maybe.
But okay, say take McDaniels off the table.
But all
that's
the rest,
fine.
I got you.
Yeah, if they didn't at least look elsewhere, I'd be pissed. But if we ended up with him, no, I wouldn't be mad, man. I think he does a great job.
Did you hear? And he even has a little more information now. Do you have a comment on Brian Flores
and all the stuff coming out about why he got let go?
I was shocked when it first happened. Right. I was absolutely shocked.
I don't know if you heard the newest.
Were you shocked
thing
first off? Were you shocked?
Well, I was shocked, but I guess that plays into it too. I forgot about Flores. So one of the reasons Watson wanted to go to Miami was Flores. Mm-hmm. And so I think that could be another thing. They try to bring him in and say, hey, look.
And then we get Deshaun?
But he's not going to do it. Then they maybe get Deshaun, yeah.
And
I forgot about
Cousins
that.
to Cleveland?
Man, you're going all over. No, this is legit, though. He wanted Flores, right? He likes Flores. Oh. I'm sure there's some of that. I think most coaches can rub some players the wrong way. But with all that said, like, he got so much out of that team at the second half of the season. I'm really surprised.
So what's true, but did you hear the rest of it?
Like talking shit to Tua and
stuff
about
what he said. And he told him that he should have picked Mac Jones instead.
Yeah, but I did see that.
Yeah, like,
that's fucked up.
You don't do that.
How true is it? Do we know?
We don't. Well, I don't know where it all came from and all that.
Right.
Obviously,
at this point, you have to believe it though. With him being let go.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I could anyway. Maybe it's them leaking their own, so because they caught so much backlash for letting him go. How did you get the rest of that roster to ball out and go 8-1 the remainder of the season? After starting like that, they didn't quit on him. They could have. They had every right to 1-7, right? Isn't that how they started? They started off 1-7.
Yep. They won the first game, lost 7 straight.
Then they went 8-1. That roster did not give up on him. So, do you actually play up for a coach that is a piece of shit and like acts like that?
Right.
I don't know. That's where I kind of lean. I'm like, maybe it
Tua,
didn't happen.
Especially Tua, because he was playing well.
And he was playing well.
He had one guy to throw the ball to, really.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if that's like the Dolphins kind of trying to leak something out to like trying to justify why they let Brian Flores go.
Right? That's definitely part of it. And maybe he said that. Maybe it's all true.
Yep.
People use different techniques to like motivate players too, right? So maybe that was his way to be like, fucking prove me wrong.
And maybe it didn't bug Tua at the time.
Yeah.
Which we don't know unless Tua comes out and says, yeah, he was a real big dickbag about this. I didn't appreciate it, and it isn't like he went off on a world tear after that either. Right. It isn't like he went off. He played good quarterback
too. Yeah, players respond differently, and you've got to know as a coach what you can say to certain people, and not like horrible things, but what the limit is. Like, you've been playing like crap. At this point I should have just taken Mac Jones. You know, like if it's coming off like that, you got to know ultimately what your players can handle, what can motivate them, and stuff like that. So
I don't know if you could turn that one. If he actually did say that, I don't know if you can turn that one into any version of positive, no matter how you're built. Like when you directly relate him to another player.
Yeah,
that one would be a difficult one. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be one thing. Like, hey, you should be. I don't know. Like, first off, that's an everyday world, by the way. That's not just in football team, sports, or anything about how you relate. That should be how management is. That's the reason why management deals with people, especially your middle management. They need to know how to deal with each individual because each individual reacts differently to how you do things and how you say stuff. So that's everyday stuff, number one. But number two, I still don't know if you I don't know if you ever bring someone directly in like that conversation, especially when it isn't like a Tom Brady or a Peyton or something like that like a established guy that's playing down or something like that. Maybe you get a fire going underneath them because they take shit like that and they take it to another level. What did Jordan say? He's like, I took that personally.
Yeah.
And I took that personally. So I don't know if you do that with a young player and you literally direct him to like another young player.
Maybe not. Maybe that
wouldn't have crossed my mind.
The move in general, yeah. I totally get it. It's a shitty thing, you would think, to say, right? But they started the season 1-7. And if he's dogging him, trying to get him hyped up and trying to boost, his level of play, they ended up winning 7 straight games, 8 of their last 9. What's the most important thing as a coach? Winning football games, right?
Yeah.
And they did. So we've seen plenty of situations where a shitty coach does fucked up things and the team totally quits because they're like, I'm not dealing with this. Miami did not do that. So if he was saying that more than just Tua heard it, and if they were really bugged by it, they easily could have quit on him, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't see that.
Right, and I'm with you on that
you
thought process.
So and he was, before all that came out, he was like one of the most respected coaches in the league, right?
So I don't know.
Everybody.
I don't know if it's 100% true. There may be some truth to it, but I don't know if it's quite to those extremes either. Like
maybe.
First off, a head coach isn't going to get along. It's very rare that a head coach is 100% liked through a 53-plus man roster and all of management. It's not going to happen, right? It's just not going to happen. You can be pretty damn close. Even someone not that long ago had a problem with Andy Reid. Andy Reid, of all people that we've heard nothing but positive. He's a player's coach, blah, blah, blah. I can't remember who the hell it was off the top of my head. But it was someone that, wasn't it Le'Veon?
Yeah.
It's Le'Veon.
Yep, it was.
So there's always somebody that doesn't get along with someone, no matter how good of a person you are, no matter how great you are, no matter whatever. You can't please everybody. It's a fact. You can have 10 people in a room and like, hey, we need a vote, and it looks like it should be a slam dunk to change a process or to change something. Looks like it's 100%. Yeah, absolutely. No brainer.
There's also context too, right? So like we're all boys in here. So if we're fucking, I don't know, doing what? Playing flag football or something, right? And you're the quarterback and I'm talking shit to you. I'm like, we should have fucking brought in Eric, right? What are you doing out there? You're going to be like, bitch, please. Yeah. Like you're doing it for a reason, not just to dog somebody.
So I agree with you there. And I didn't think about it like that. And I'm agreeing 1,000%. Because if you remember early reports when they had to deal with that Deshaun Watson talk, Brian Flores supposedly did not want Deshaun.
Yeah.
He was okay. He was more than okay with Tua. They had a conversation and said, you are my quarterback. Tua came out and said that.
Yeah.
So maybe they're on a different level. Maybe it did get said, but they're on a different level of respect between the two of them, or even, dare I say, borderline friendship that it's like, hey, you've been playing like dog shit, and if we were going to do that, hell, I might as well draft a Mac Jones. Maybe it came off like that. So
maybe. I don't know. I like your take on the Miami probably leaked it because they were getting flack. Well-deserved flack. As far
absolutely.
As
I was shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked
when
and
then
that came across.
After that, they said, we're not trying to get Harbaugh, which is like, then why the fuck would you let him go? Oh, because of this.
Yeah,
like,
who's out there for a head coach possibility besides that you would ever think they could get rid of Flores for?
Right.
After you finished 8-1, you almost made the playoffs. You needed technically to go 9-0 to stay alive. You kind of buried yourself a little too much, but you still went 9-8 after starting that rough, and all your guys could have quit on you.
Yep. Unless I forget, Tua was banged up a few games,
yes.
right? So they had some not so great quarterbacks starting those games, and in the midst of the losing streak.
Yep. I'm not sold, but I'm also not giving up on Tua. By the way, that's not. I think the jury's still out.
I agree.
You drafted him a couple years ago, and he is your guy. He hasn't been on the field long enough, especially with his injuries, for you to just be like, no, we're done.
No, that's the truth. Even with my left-handed bias, I totally agree with you. You got to give him a shot.
You got to give him a legit shot and get him weapons to do it. Because I seen someone else that that is in my notes, but we can kind of go that way a little bit. You see the GM for the Colts come out and not back Wentz? Like, as in,
I did see that.
Non-committal to him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, hold on a second. Like, I'm not trying to. Wentz is, we already know, a head case. Like, it doesn't take much, and he gets his feelings hurt, right? I understand that. But it wasn't all him that lost those games. He might not have been playing great there down the stretch, but it wasn't just him. You guys floundered that shit away.
In that loss against Jacksonville, they lost in the trenches of all places.
Right.
And that's your bread and butter. And you're going to, I don't know about that.
And you're not, so what are you going to do? You're going to enter the same carousel that like 50% of the other teams are in, trying to find a quarterback. You have a quarterback. Carson Wentz is a NFL starting quarterback. Yep. I seen a ridiculous line on one of the sites, probably ESPN, that said, was Carson Wentz overhyped early on in his career? I'm like, no, he was not. He was a legitimate MVP. He was going to be hands down MVP the year before a couple games before when he got injured.
Yeah,
before the playoffs started.
30-3 or something was his stat line was.
It was stupid, and there was the second place person it was almost like King Henry at the start of the season, right?
Yeah,
it was so far above everybody else.
Disrespect King Henry.
King Henry is the man. I'm sorry,
he is.
But you know what I'm getting at. I'm like, you do have get him weapons. You have Michael Pittman, who's a jump ball artist, and then who else? A T.Y. Hilton, a shell of himself.
Right.
I'm talking about to throw to. I'm not talking about Jonathan Taylor, who is
Yeah.
a special player. I'm talking about to throw to. Get him some weapons because every quarterback needs weapons, no matter if you – some players have a little bit different level. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, they can turn guys into it, but not everybody has that. You still need to give them weapons to play with. Dak lost his earlier this season. What did he look like? Dog shit.
Yeah.
You can't roll out without anybody. You can't just that isn't how it works. You need to get them something. So, speaking of the NFC East, Miles Sanders is going to play Sunday. Only 3 weeks after his hand injury or his hand surgery. Sorry, hand surgery. Any shot, by the way?
A shot.
Okay.
I mean, I think they've got to play it smart, and it's got to go perfect. They got to keep the ball away from Tom Brady and run the rock.
And that's what they do.
And that's what they do. They have to capitalize on every time they get in the red zone. Every time they get down on that side of the field, they have to come away with something.
There's one. So I agree with everything you said, except for you're missing one thing that has been instrumental throughout Brady's career of beating him. You have to get pressure on him with 4. You can't do it blitzing. You
Yep.
can't do it with 5 unless they're that quick. But generally speaking, you need to get there with 4 because you still need him in coverage.
I don't think they need that. I think with the receivers all being out, that they have a better shot this time.
You don't think they have enough? I think they have enough receivers. I don't know about enough for the Super Bowl, but for this, I think they have enough.
Right. I think with the guys being out that those other receivers stepping in are going to have to work harder. You know, there's no guarantee. It's not AB out there. It's not Chris Godwin out there. It's just normal guys who are nobodies. We talked about
Well,
who the hell was catching passes from them, right?
That nobody caught a game winner against the Jets.
Right. But it is the Jets.
It is the
Somebody
Jets.
not in the playoffs.
It is the Jets. What?
Somebody not in the playoffs.
What?
Right. So I think that won't be the entire key. Now they're definitely going to have to keep one of the boys in check, Gronk or Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, yeah, if you can get pressure for that'd be awesome. But I don't think it's as instrumental this time because of all the lack of weapons. He's missing 2 receivers.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. They played once early in the season, right? And basically the Bucs beat them up, but the Eagles came back and made it a game.
Yep.
Right? So I think that's a little bit of an advantage to the Eagles. And at that point when they played, Jalen Hurts was still doing his kind of crazy shit.
Right.
Right? And over the last...
They weren't playing the right way.
Yeah, over the last, 5 games or so, he's really dialed it in better. He's been more pocket, only running when he has to. I'm not super worried about the game because I think it's Tom Brady. Ultimately, you can't bet against him.
Yep.
But I think it'll be more interesting than what people think, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm throwing a small bet on it just because the odds are so good. If you hit the other way, if the Eagles do manage to pull it off, so like a $5 bet, I think is what I threw on them, just on the off chance they do pull it out. But
Do some goofy shit.
ultimately, I do have Tampa winning that game.
Well, let's not flirt with them too much. We'll see. We have picks coming up in tonight's episode. The All-Pro team has been announced. Now I'm just going to ramble. I'm going to run down the list so you can hear them. 4 of them were unanimous, if I read the article correctly. 2 of them, one was Devontae Adams and Cooper Kupp. I do believe it was T.J. Watt and Aaron Donald for unanimous.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yep.
So going down the list, Jonathan Taylor, Mark Andrews. I already alluded to Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, Deebo Samuel. Trent Williams, Tristan Wirfs, Iowa boy. Joel Bitonio, Zach Martin, Jason Kelsey. T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett. I'm surprised Myles wasn't a unanimous. The dude was a monster all year. Aaron Donald, Cam Hayward, Darius Leonard, Micah Parsons, Devondre Campbell, Trayvon Diggs, Jalen Ramsey, Kevin Byard, Jordan Poyer. Special teamers were Justin Tucker, A.J. Cole, Braxton Berrios, Devin Duvernay, J.T. Gray, and Luke Rhodes. Duvernay. Church it up, son. Sorry.
He is former Longhorn.
Oh, who gives a shit then? I said it right. Devin, who gives a shit? Duvernay. Anything on there that was a little surprising?
Yeah,
That versus
I mean,
someone else that maybe you thought like could have been or should have been up in there.
Yeah, I mean, you can debate a lot of players, right? Like,
especially with this one,
Yeah, you could bet Jefferson because he wasn't on there.
Mm-hmm.
You could say you could have an argument for Tyreek not being on there. I think, goddamn, what's his name on the Niners defense? I think that's why old boy wasn't unanimous.
Wasn't Justin Jefferson the second leading receiver too? I think he was.
maybe.
I think he was.
Yep. So yeah.
So yeah, that one was
I
a little
mean-
surprising. But that's our hometown.
in
news.
yards?
In yards.
I
Not
think you're right.
touchdowns.
I think you're right.
I think it was.
Yeah.
His receptions were up there too. I don't know if it was number 2, but
Tyreek was number 2 in receptions, but
was he?
yeah, to
Okay.
Cooper, yeah. So what did Debo make it as?
A wide receiver. They only had one running
That's
back.
kinda
They only had
funny.
one running back listed, but they had 3 wide receivers. So
That's kind of funny. You almost have to have a flex anymore, you know?
Right.
kind of like fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Besides that one, Justin not making it. That's probably the only player on the Vikings for sure that I believe that should have been first team All Pro.
Yeah.
When you're going through the players in general in the NFL and you get to pick your own team
Maybe Tom Brady.
and
you
you
could say,
get you get a pick from each one, he's going to be in your top couple to pick from. He
Yep.
definitely should have been top 3, I believe. But either way, yeah, it isn't like there was a horrible one. It isn't like, oh, what the hell.
Exactly.
And technically, it may save us some money down the road because when you get named All-Pro, it just jacks up your stock. Which brings me to another one that I was more shocked by, and that was your boy Trayvon Diggs. And that was the interceptions are purely the only reason why he was,
Yeah.
because he was also one of the worst in coverage
Well,
of plays getting past
obviously,
him.
if he wasn't getting turnovers, he would
Yeah,
be
if he
on
wasn't
there.
getting turnovers. So I'm just saying for first team All-Pro, I was a little surprised by that.
Yeah, that's such a hard debate.
Because
right?
I'm talking about getting when I want in the first team All Pro, or you want and you get to pick your guys 100% out there. Mackay was 100%. That's awesome, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, I was like, hold on, I want a shutdown corner. I don't want the dude that only picks the ball. I actually want a guy over there that I know when he's matched up with whoever, he ain't catching the damn ball. That dude's cut out of the game.
Who would you pick over him?
Off the top of my head, I don't know if they play too much into injury, but I probably would pick the Bills corner over him.
Okay.
They-
I
TJ
thought you were
Watt
gonna
missed
go
a few
Ramsey.
games.
I thought you were going to go Ramsey.
No, maybe not Ramsey this
he's
year.
already-
Ramsey in the past,
In the
yeah.
past, but not this
Ramsey
year.
was a little.
Okay.
He got caught.
That's a
on this
better
year.
argument. Old boy for the Bills.
I think it was him before, but I don't know why you would count injury because TJ Watt missed a bunch of time too this year. So
Yeah.
I think about the
Turnovers
roughly same.
are big. I mean,
It is. It's
the
it's
swing in the game.
It's the
and
sexy
stuff,
one
yeah.
versus that.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about all.
And it's just, you're right. It's so big because it swings the game totally. And he had a couple pick sixes in there too, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's a hard argument because, yeah, the rest of the time he's not necessarily great, but those make such a difference in the ball games. It's tough.
Yep.
Brady was the other one I was going to say. I can't argue against Aaron Rodgers, but Brady, you could have seen him up there.
Yeah. That's got to be also telltale versus the MVP voting.
Yeah,
right there,
that
right?
means Rodgers is the MVP, right?
Right.
Yeah, agreed.
If you do that, I mean that's basically what you're saying,
Right.
correct? So it's voted upon about with the 50 panelists. So
Yeah. Did you see that Watt and the Steelers tried to basically get him the actual record, not tie it? Which, that's a fair argument. I'm surprised it didn't get overturned, but basically it was a botched snap, and old boy was running, and he could have passed the ball, but he didn't, and Watt got him down. They said he was a runner, though, which is like...
It's I know, I get confused sometimes, too. It's like, that fine line of, is he a runner now? Is he not? I don't know.
I was banking on it on my not banking on it, but holding out hope for my
Fantasy. Yeah.
because there was a play like that.
Oh, that wasn't the same one. Okay.
No, this one was the Ravens. It was the quarterback. I needed the sack. It would have been against the Niners, maybe. Either way, they got it. They got him down, but he could have passed. It was an RPO, but I don't know. It's kind of a combination. So I was holding out hope. Especially with the RPO, it's a hard thing to prove whether they're running, or if that's his intention.
Shouldn't you just make it black and white? If it's in the quarterback's hands and he can pass the ball, it's a sack.
It's a sack because you have the option.
Yeah, why make it difficult?
Right.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised by this one. So, big time trade in the NBA already. The Knicks sent forward Kevin Knox II and a 22 first round draft pick. That was the Hornets draft pick to the Hawks for Cam Reddish and Solomon Hill and a 2025 second-round pick. That move, if you guys didn't know, reunites Cam Reddish with former Duke teammate R.J. Barrett, who's also on his own little tear up there for New York. I do believe he was the first Knick in, God, what did they say the other night? I watched a little bit of that game in quite a few years to have 3 straight 30-point games. So I thought I was a little surprised. I don't know what the deal is with the Hawks giving up on Cam, or that's a talent.
Yeah.
Like, I think teams give up on guys way too soon, especially if they show, like, unless there's a poor attitude thing. I mean,
yeah, there could always be that, right?
There always could be that.
I don't know. The Knicks are weird. I can't tell if it's a good decision or not.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a while they weren't playing Kemba. He wasn't starting, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden it drops 29 his first game back. Like, what are you doing? So
Yeah, confused. He doesn't play defense. Told you. Old boy loves
Who
his
plays
players'
defense? Let's talk about that. I know Thibodeau does.
Thibodeau's big on you got to play even this version of this day and age basketball defense, and Kemba doesn't. I'm not saying Kemba. He's like Russell, I guess, and what I mean is Russell looks like he kind of is because he's so hyperactive,
opportunistic, kind of, right?
Yeah, but it's not actual man-to-man defense. Like his guy gets by and he lets it go, type of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I always kind of had a special place in my heart for the Knicks. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the colors or what.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't like that. I don't like the rest of the New York teams. None of that shit. There's just something weird about them. Except for I hate their owner.
Oh, he's garbage. For
Dolan
sure.
is garbage.
Yeah.
One of the worst owners that hasn't had his team taken away. I'm hoping for, or I shouldn't say it like that, but I'm hoping for a racial fucking video clip or
when you see
audio.
Some emails,
I need to see some
Open
emails. Get this
emails.
dude, lose this dude his job. Have fucking Patrick Ewing or Allen Houston come up and own that team or something.
Hey, let's be real. It'd be good for the NBA if the Knicks were good, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Any
of those big market teams.
Still to this day, when you have your special moment in the NBA, it is such a big time moment when you do it at the Garden, right?
Yes.
It's still NBA players still take that as a big deal when they break a record or when they go for 50 in the Garden, and that's still a huge deal. So that franchise still means something. So it would be great for the NBA for them to, but you know how that would happen? Get rid of that owner.
Yeah, agreed. He's been terrible for so long.
He has.
Yeah.
Go over some injuries here, especially with the playoffs starting. Patriots left tackle Isaiah Wynn will miss the game with ankle and hip injuries. Bucks rule out Cyril Grayson, the dude that caught the touchdown against the Jets, and Ronald Jones for their matchup. The Chiefs have ruled out Clyde Edwards-Helaire against Pittsburgh. J.J. Watt returns to practice. Status is still uncertain, though, for that game. They said he had a great day of practice. So, and that there's a bunch of questionables still. These are the ones that actually have been ruled out. So, Tampa Bay has a couple guys that are like right on the fence, like Barrett and
Fournette,
but that was someone else on defense. Can't remember who the hell it is off the top of my head, but they're still in the questionable area. But
you know, you've talked about the Bucs a couple times. I don't remember if you brought it up in the last podcast, but did you see what Brady did for Gronk's?
Yeah.
Millie.
Yeah.
They were gonna pull him out. He's like, "You're not taking me out." And next play, got him the ball, got him his Millie.
Yeah. What did he say? He's like,
I have to get a real job.
I have to get a real job if I don't get this.
This catch.
Yep, that was big time.
Cowboys wide receiver Amari Cooper has been fined $14,650 by the NFL for violating COVID-19 protocols for unvaccinated players by attending a Mavericks game last week and not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
So now, I gotta be careful. So now that we know, and everybody has finally said that masks don't do anything, why is that still a rule?
Yeah, no kidding.
So a couple things here. Do we want to go down this road a little bit?
That's what I'm saying. I got to be careful.
I'm going to go a little down this road, just a little.
Okay.
We all agree that this is done at bare minimum, among other things, even more serious, but that this is a big old money thing, right? COVID, especially government. of course they're going to come out and say the masks are meaningless because they can't control the money flow. Because anyone can make the mask. Literally, the girls inside who are doing craft night could whip up some masks. When you say that only N95 masks are ones that can help battle, then you can then you can throw stock in something and make money off of it.
Right. It's big time pharmaceutical companies. Right.
Exactly. So that's what. So you try to deter people from that because people were anyone and little businesses popped up and businesses that were already in existence popped up and made cloth masks. Anyone could do it. This doesn't make the government money.
Yeah, that's part of it. I think the reason is that it's more and more is coming out, and our current president made a promise at the beginning and said he was going to be able to kill COVID, right? And now it's obvious to some people that he can't, and so they've got to give the reasons why he can't. And masks don't really do a good job, don't work, whatever. That's coming out. There's going to be more things to help say it's not his fault.
Unvaccinated fucks that are still carrying this around. And
see, now we're
cracking into it.
You're cracking the case.
Okay, we're cracking into it. That's the reason why he can't destroy this,
right?
Because somebody that we know dearly hasn't already had COVID, got the shot, and got COVID again just recently. Yeah, that hasn't happened at all. Okay,
all right,
fuck off. With all due respect.
With
all due respect. All right, so we'll move on from that one because we can go down that rabbit hole. Francis Ngannou says he will not fight in the UFC again under current deal after title defense versus Cyril Gane.
Yeah, I think he will eventually. Right now, boxing probably would make the best sense for him money-wise, but he wants to fight John Jones. That's a money fight. And whenever John is ready to do that, that'll happen. Granted, he beats this guy coming up.
You guys have no belief at all that he's just standing his ground and telling old boy, you need to pay us more.
No. As soon as John Jones is ready, he'll fight him.
It's too much money, and Jones isn't going to be ready for a while.
Yep.
So, yeah. But the interesting thing about this is in his contract, there is a stipulation that if at that last fight he's the champion, he's got to defend it. So it's like an extra fight deal. So if he wins, technically in the contract, he has to defend his title. I don't know how that'll play out.
So is he saying he's laying down for this then?
That's essentially he's saying he's going to give it up, yeah. So I don't know if he'll be able to, but you're right. Boxing is so much more money for these guys. Like, why not?
Yep.
Just pay them.
Yeah.
Just pay these men.
Yep.
So many more people tune in to see a monster like that fight. Like, fucking give him his money, man.
Give them all their money. You give them all to work it up.
Yeah, but we're just talking about him right now, right? Like, give them their money if they deserve it. If they fucking bring in fans, everything like that, pay these guys.
Yep.
Like,
you're gonna have to help me with these names. Middleweights: Kelvin Gastelum and Nasruddin Imavov agree to fight at UFC 273 in April.
Okay. Yeah, Gastelum, he's had such, he was a favorite coming out after he won the Ultimate Fighter, and it's just such a disappointment. He could never make weight, and then when he did, he'd have a great showing, and then he'd come out and fall flat the next time, or not make weight, or whatever it was, and kind of a disappointing career, up and down, never can be consistent, so we'll see. Maybe he can get back on track and head the right way. I don't know much about the other guy, to be honest.
yes, you're right. So much potential there, right? But
so much potential, just not hitting it.
Pissing her away.
Yep.
Irish police are investigating alleged attack on bar owned by UFC's Conor McGregor.
Go ahead. Do you got more to that story?
No, go ahead.
So apparently they chased these guys out of the bar.
It's a high-end bar. I do know that.
Yeah, it's a Conor deal. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But they chased these guys out of a bar, and then they found a couple explosive devices on the premises of the bar.
Oh.
And so it's not the investigation as much like into Conor and them, but potentially these guys that they had to chase out for whatever reason and stuff like that. But yeah, it could have been a big deal. That's pretty much what I saw on that report, though. So.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Novak Djokovic's visa again canceled by the Australian government, putting his status in for the Open in serious jeopardy.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. Like I said, they had done this, and they were like, you're good, and then now they've done it again.
The way they're treating their people, all of them should just fucking not partake in this thing.
Yeah, it's
that's just me personally, but that's a completely different part of it. When it comes to this part of it, just purely sports. We're not talking about his little thing, like the reports that came out about blah blah blah. Don't matter. I'm talking about purely this. This is a bad look to not have the defending champ at your Open, and arguably one of the best tennis players in the world, right?
Yeah. Maybe
that's where I'm kind of lying. I'm not trying to put like this above COVID, that against this. I'm just purely saying, to me, that's not a good look. And like, is it always going to be an asterisk? Like whoever does win, like you didn't even beat the defending champ. The defending champ wasn't even allowed to partake.
Maybe, but like we talked about, those asterisks only last so long. So.
Yeah, you'll eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It won't be as celebrated is what I'm trying to get at. Even in the moment, I don't think it'll be as celebrated. Hold on. You didn't go against the Joker? And he just won it the year before?
I don't know. If I'm playing and I win, I'm like, I didn't have to play him. So
right.
Right, you personally, yes. But I mean, like, if you were like someone that's already kind of up there and like even the top 10 and you end up rolling and winning, you're not going to have the same, because you've already won some tournaments in the past, right? You're already good and established. You're not going to have the same notoriety with that. Yeah, but you didn't beat the Joker.
It's true.
Right?
Yeah.
It hurts him. It hurts the sport there for sure. Apparently I don't know what the title is, the immigration official, whatever, the guy that runs immigration, overturned the original decision and said no.
No, that's purely because of it's getting crucified too.
Omicron and all that stuff, right? Yeah. But funny thing out of this, before apparently that happened, I was surprised. I did not see that come across. But before that happened, Joker was getting interviewed by a kid, and this little girl's like, because I think he's from Switzerland. She's like, so there's not, so there's a lot of animals in Switzerland, but there's not many goats. It's like, why do people call you the goat? And he like, it was adorable. He like chuckled, and he's like, what? Some people call me that. He's like, I don't know why. This kid was genuine. Like, why do they call you that? You know? And he's like, I can't say it right now. Wait till I retire, and then we'll talk.
Right.
You know? But it was pretty funny.
Iowa football coach Kirk Ferentz has received a contract extension through the 2092 season.
2092. He'll be 175.
Yeah, get it.
That's not a typo.
Iowa will continue.
It's actually
to
2029.
Mediocre as long as this dude is around.
Yeah, absolutely. Ferentz is the nation's longest tenured coach after wrapping up his 23rd season. He will earn $7 million annually during the new contract.
It's crazy. Now, I give him props. You know, you've sent people to the NFL and this and that and developed kids. At some point, though, you've got to jump over the hump and win the big game, right?
Yeah.
So why does Iowa keep doing this?
So the same reason that we try to talk ourselves into this, right? Like people that other programs, other teams in general, pro, doesn't matter, college, that you jump ship way too early. First off, number one, obviously not in his case 23 seasons, but you jump too early, or you don't like 9-4 seasons. That's not good enough for you as a franchise, and then it isn't good for the rest of the. Nebraska's been battling ever since they let Bo Pelini go. 9-4 wasn't good enough. Regular 9-4s. We get a good, solid football team almost every single year. I don't know if he'll ever get over the hump. I don't think so. He needs a special talent, a quarterback, to come in for that to happen.
Yep.
And
man, there's plenty of talents out there in the portal.
There is, and he does go for portal, but he doesn't go for skill positions from there. Zach Van Valkenburg came from the portal.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's what's holding back. I think I was just fine in some of their other spots because they're not going to come out and have the quarterback throw for 500 yards. That's not. That
isn't even the style they want.
Exactly, but you still need a guy who can create. You need to go get one of those.
Of those 25 passes that quarterback is going to throw, we need them to be good to special.
Yeah.
Not anywhere down here. You can't be below that. We get along with average. We didn't even have average, and we still had 10 wins last year.
Who throws 25 passes?
I don't know. Mac Jones did it. But yeah,
got that done.
So I try to tell myself if we did let him go, we'll let him walk. What would they bring in? Because they probably wouldn't draw the big name.
Right.
The guys that could do something or could do even better, maybe like the Brett Bellema, who was Wisconsin, but has an Iowa tattoo on him. He's an Iowa guy. He's already locked up. And anyone bigger isn't going to go there for whatever, I mean, I'm not, unless they shell out some money, some true money. $7 million should be enough, because I'm about to get to another one that's going to surprise you here in a second on a contract extension. So I don't know. Maybe they just like, you know what? You bring in plenty of money. You get us to a bowl every single year.
Yeah.
You're always in the hunt at the end of the season. If you actually think about it, in the last 3 games of the regular season, almost every year, they have a shot at going to the title game, to the Big Ten title game. Every single year. I'm not saying that they end up close to that after those last few games, but up to that point, they literally are mathematically always in that game when it comes down to the last 3 games. Now, usually they face Wisconsin, and Wisconsin blows their booty hole out, and Wisconsin takes it back, or separates himself further. I don't know. I'm with you on both sides, but I also don't want to go the other way too, to where you get rid of them and then you lose it all. You're not even a 6-win team, and you have to deal with that for 10 years.
Yeah.
Because one pride I have is that, and they do beat good teams from time to time. Times that you think they have no shot. They beat Ohio State. They'll beat somebody that they're not supposed to. So they're competitive. So there's a pride there. I mean, do we have a shot at a national championship? Most likely not. Not without a special. They have the defense. They consistently have the defense. They consistently have the lines. They don't have a quarterback. And to be seriously considered for that, you need a special quarterback.
Yeah, we always
Stetson Bennett.
Exactly. Even in down seasons, a down season really is 8 wins for him, right?
Yeah.
It's can you really say we need a new coach? When he's pretty flatline, 8-11 is pretty much his range, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even this year, with how we played in the second half of the season, we still made it to the Big Ten championship.
I would love to see him go outside of his box a little bit himself and try to get do whatever you got to do to bring on some of these recruiters that are a little younger, more upbeat, maybe a little out of your context, so they can sway a guy that what I'm alluding to, that 4 or 5-star different style of quarterback than what we have been,
Yeah.
To swing one of those guys. That's what you need to do. Go outside your box a little bit and be able to bring in these other cats. We know you have this down. You'll never go without offense and defensive line. Right. And that's what they do. When they do pull 4 and 5 stars, that's what they pull 4 and 5 stars on, is offense and defensive line. The rest of it is not. But I'm going to allude to this one right here. So you remember the dollar amount, $7 million for Iowa. UCLA and head coach Chip Kelly have agreed on a 4-year extension through 2025. The new contract will pay Kelly an average of $4.7 million annually. His salary last year was $5.6 million. They just went 8-4. What the fuck? And it shows your thing is finally starting to take off. I don't know. Maybe you guys can. And he was only a day away from that contract, paying it the arbitration, paying him $0. By the way, this whole thing was a little weird to me. The first time I read that, I was like, "Hold on, he's gonna make less money than last year. You had your best season so far, and it looks like you're going where the vision was supposed to go, right? Or that he's finally there. That's what I believe. That's what I do believe. I know you believe that. You're finally there to where we're consistently be there or higher from now on. Wins, because the system is in place now, and you're gonna make less money, almost by $1 million.
I think this worked out perfectly for the school. They haven't made that big time jump. You can say it's heading in the right direction, but is it really? You don't know until they play the games. Mm-hmm. So you go, hey, we'll give you these 4 years of guarantee, and you get to keep doing your thing, and then they can always change and do whatever and add incentives and whatnot.
See, I would take a Chip Kelly at Iowa. He wouldn't come to Iowa, though.
Well, no.
And I wouldn't have been upset had they paid him the $7 million they just gave Kirk Ferentz.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's what I'm getting at. That's the reason why I'm shocked that that's such a little. Nobody out there was gonna. He must be dedicated to UCLA more than more than the other way around. Actually,
you get probably one of the biggest recruiting pipelines there.
Maybe,
right in your backyard.
maybe, but they're like definitely second fiddle, bare minimum.
To USC.
Right, but I mean, if he thinks he's got this good thing going, then yeah, why not? You stay in the background that you know where you at least have the possibility, because he comes to Iowa, he's not pulling those guys.
No, I'm not saying Iowa's the only one. I'm just saying he could have made more money at a big time, or even bigger time university than UCLA. UCLA is a basketball school. Mm-hmm. He could have went to Cal, which is more of a football, basketball-ish, and maybe even got more money than $4.7 million.
Yeah,
and that's still in that backyard.
I did. So I think both things play into it. I think what Rio said is totally right. Like, the school's on point. We don't have to pay him a ton yet. He hasn't really done much.
No, they're getting a steal.
Yeah, but
they're getting. Or do we agree on that part before you finish?
Yeah,
they're getting a steal.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Okay, go ahead.
Initially.
Yeah.
But if they do what we think they should end up doing next year, and they win the Pac-12 and make some noise throughout college football, he's going to be like, okay, I should prove myself. Now let's readjust this shit, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that's ultimately what happens. He's like, I know where we're going. That's fine. Pay me this now. I got guaranteed money if something crazy happens. But where I know we're going to go, we're going to readjust the shit after next year. I really think that's kind of what they're looking at.
I bet you there's an outing in this contract. The outing where they wouldn't have, like, it'd be guaranteed, and someone could still come up and swoop him up if they were to ball out and someone tries to get Chip Kelly at one of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I was just surprised by that. That's all.
How much easier does it make life, though, to your point? Like, recruiting, he doesn't have to recruit as hard as he used to, right?
Yeah.
Like, life is easier. Like, am I willing to take a pay cut because life is so much easier, too? I don't know if it factors in, but I would think it would, right?
Absolutely.
Shit.
I would definitely has to.
I got 4 stars just walking through the door. I don't got to go talk to him.
In the backyard.
Yeah.
All right. So, technically, that's what I got, but I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know a little something.
Here we go.
So I was thinking about this the other day. I seen something stupid come across, like Facebook, and just shake your head. Humanity type shit. I don't know if you guys know, like, some of the ridiculously bad laws that are still technically laws. They may not be, upheld anymore. But it started making me think. I'm going to read some of these to you. I'm going to read one, just one for you tonight. Weird-ass laws that are still in effect. In the state of Vermont, it dictates that women must get permission from their husbands if they want to get false teeth.
I love it.
Do you know where that one's going?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know Rio does. He has that old lady's charm going on.
100%.
Yeah, it dictates that they must get permission from their husbands if they want to get false teeth.
Now, what if the husband just wants him to get false teeth just because? Like, I mean,
It's their choice. It's their call.
Yeah.
Could see.
Just want to throw that one out there.
That's interesting.
Think about that one for a second. We need Iowa to put that one in.
Yeah, let's get it in now. Is there an age limit? Can we,
And why wouldn't you want to? You're having to make her milkshakes all the time, like food milkshakes, and
You're thinking about. I was thinking the other way, like 100% perverted.
Oh, I was too. But
Okay.
I'm just trying to.
I'm like, gum job. What's
keep
up?
it PG.
We don't need you putting teeth in.
We don't need
like,
teeth,
Fuck, come on. Overrated.
Right, just out there gumming me up.
I'll get you some damn yogurts, baby girl. Don't worry.
It was love at first sight.
Hey, I'm gonna kick it over to Rio. Rio, you got something for us?
No,
You had the questions, Dick.
I do. I wish your internet worked better. And then, anyways, I do have a few more questions tonight, and Danny is here to partake this time.
Yeah.
let's go.
What is the most embarrassing thing you have worn? Go ahead, one of y'all.
Go ahead.
Well, I'll tell a funny one first. But we're on the same page with the other piece growing up.
Yep.
So 1 year for Halloween, I wore some boobies that you could fill. Actually, I might have worn them a couple years for Halloween, but that you could fill with beer, and there was a tap, and so you could fill your beer out of the titties, dude. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's embarrassing though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know if that's embarrassing.
If we're talking embarrassing, when I was a kid, I remember it's probably happened multiple times, but when I noticed. Was this one time I actually had to ride my bike out to school, and it had just rained, right? And so I already had like hand-me-downs and all that bullshit, right? So it's like I wasn't going to school pretty anyway. But when I got into school and got into class, I had like dirty water like all the way like up my pants and my back and stuff like that. And I just went in. I didn't even notice till like halfway through the day. I'm like, wow, that's fucking cool. So yeah, looking good, baby.
Looking good. Mine has to be came from humble beginnings. That's another word for poor.
Po.
So mine was 100% mismatched, non-name brand, and I can give you the exact color. It was a burgundy long sleeve t-shirt or long sleeve shirt. Weird colored stripes down the side, kind of like with these ones right here, like but this is Adidas. Let's make that clear. Worked my way up, baby. Don't know where the hell I got this.
Got it out of the hood.
And I wear this with almost everything, so it like fit. And then I'd wear it with like gym shorts all the way up to, some jeans. And all of it was hand-me-down.
Yep.
It wasn't even the stuff that you get down from like a brother or a cousin or some shit like that. Nah. This has already went down the line and then went to like Goodwill or some shit like that, or garage sales. Like it's already been passed through. Like I should say garage sales. I don't know if my mom actually back then went to Goodwill as much, but I get a lot of stuff from Dollar General, which if you know anything about Dollar General, especially back then, it was the cheapest of the cheap.
Yeah.
Brands
you don't even recognize. Like, what is that?
Just in general and everything from there, like toilet paper would actually tear before you even touch your ass with it.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so mine was 100% and it looked like shit. My wife still makes fun of me, especially for that one. And I was like, what's funny? I still got that box, baby girl.
What's up?
What do you mean? I don't.
Vagina. Vagina. The baby maker.
Okay, gotcha.
What about you, Rio?
My son's mom. Dominic. Love you, buddy.
I grew up on a lot of Goodwill clothes, too. I don't remember anything just being, like, just outlandish. But I do have a haircut that my mother gave me that was rough. So my parents were pretty strict and whatnot. But so my mom thought, like, I can't remember what happened. Either she thought we took me or my half-sister took something or of some sort. And nobody would say if they had taken it. And so she cut both our hairs. And what she decided to do was, like, cut it in, like, a messed up way and send us to school. So she left me with, like, she shaved my head bald except for, like, an inch in the front, like 4 inches across, like, just soul patch on the top of my head.
Oh my God. Dude, I would rock, and I have had a rat tail all day long before any shit like that.
Dude, so, did used to have a rat tail.
I did. Yeah. So the amazing thing about a rat tail, though,
is that your girl can pull it when she's doing you from behind.
You're goddamn right. It's for whatever reason you thought it was cool back then, and then you find out it's not.
It's not cool.
Hold on, it gets better. It's came back.
Yeah,
that's one thing that should have never came back. It should have never been a thing.
That's true.
No.
And
it's called a rat tail.
Yeah,
okay?
Every single one of my white trash cousins had this. Except for one, and he was jealous that he couldn't grow it. And then we get older, I'm like,
right, you're like, oh,
don't
man.
be jealous, brother.
Don't be jealous, man.
I thought it was cool. It was not. It looked like white trash DNA.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
My beard already does that by itself.
Yeah, that's
right?
true. I have seen it.
Well, you're a piece of shit.
I mean, no, man, you're looking good.
No, yeah, appreciate you. Looking dapper.
So the next one I got is
I just want to make something clear. Rio asked us a question about the most fucked up thing we've had to wear.
And he goes hair.
Sorry, what the hell?
You didn't say haircut.
Right. So I've worn, like, messed up clothes before because they're, like, horrible from DG or whatever, but, I mean.
You can't think of one specific outfit?
No, I wore a lot of stuff that was pretty messed up.
I got one for you. You wore a Fairy Princess Fantasy Football because you finished last.
And so did you.
I did.
Well, you didn't. We didn't wear it. But
I did put it on.
Did you get it on?
Oh, yeah. My fat ass got it on. What's up?
So, yeah, we both have worn it.
Yeah, don't tell me I can't fit into a medium, bitch.
That's why it's so stretched out.
Goddamn right. I'm not the one that ordered it, dick. He should have, or was that Matt? Matto bought it.
I didn't order it, yeah.
Yeah, he bought it. I was like, dude, you should have gotten it oversized at least so it fits everybody. And then the little guys can swim in it. I don't care.
Exactly.
Next one, what is the most boring sport? Just in general, not watching or not, being there in person or watching on TV.
Not overthinking it.
Yeah, don't overthink it. Just the most boring sport.
Mine is.
I'm gonna go first. Horse racing.
Okay. That's so short.
I couldn't go out to Kentucky Derby or even watch
Yes,
it
you
on
could.
TV. And
Yes,
just be
you
like,
could.
What's up?
Yes, you could.
No,
We
No,
did this.
not watch it on TV.
We did
Yes, you
this.
could.
No.
It's fun.
No, I promise you could.
I've been to something like that. No,
You couldn't gamble on it at that time.
right.
Exactly.
betting on it,
We
it's
gambled
legit.
on
I
it.
still
Yeah.
wouldn't be.
Yes, you could.
Oh, dude, it's
I
not
don't
bad.
know.
If
Dude, when you're
gambling
gambling on it, yes, I guarantee it.
Now y'all going too crazy.
I'm the
I wouldn't
I know.
have.
I know you're just generally
Right.
speaking, but I'm saying I know that you enjoy the part if you were gambling on it. I promise you that.
Yeah.
But I get you. It's still the
Just the
most
sport,
boring
in general.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about. putting odds
Mine
on
is
anything.
shout out to my father-in-law. I'm sorry I got to say this, but it's got to be racing, dude. You sit here and go around unless there's a crash and then someone has a shot at dying. So quite honestly, it says if I want to take a nap,
miss
I
you,
throw
Dale.
on a NASCAR
We miss you, Dale.
race, right? There's no way I'm finishing a NASCAR race.
Yeah. Oh no.
0.
That one's pretty
300
bad,
laps
too.
of bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah, so we all
The
agree we
after
don't
stuff
like
is better, right?
races in a circle.
Yeah.
That shit's boring.
Well,
Like,
even
with
the
you
other
on
ones are
NASCAR.
still boring. Like, yeah, I'm talking about even when they do the Indy off-road, whatever any of that. It's just doing it is another thing. I'm talking about watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being in person to me would be different, but we've talked about that. You said don't overthink it. So my general consensus would have to be NASCAR.
Yeah.
Yeah, so NASCAR is the easiest one to say. So you took the low-hanging fruit on that.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to throw you another one?
I guess if I were to so when I say this, I'm saying things that are on like ESPN anymore, and I don't know if you call it a sport or not. But it's boring as shit to watch guys play bags, like the professional guys play bags, because they make every fucking one.
That is not boring,
And
though.
it's
I have
so
to disagree with
boring
you.
to watch, man.
No, it makes me jealous and upset, but I can sit there and watch it because I'm like, oh my God.
How'd they do that?
They're
yeah.
so good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but that isn't boring to me.
See, now I think that you
I
threw our game up there at the park because he was bored out of his
No,
mind.
playing it is different, but watching it is what
No,
I'm
watching
saying.
it, I could
These
watch
guys are
it.
so good. They make
Okay.
everything. It's like
I got you. That's your personal opinion, but
Yeah.
on mine, I have gotten
Right.
actually. The reason why I
Yeah.
defend it is
Well,
like I've gotten stuck watching it and like actually continue watching. I'm like, what am I doing right now?
Mm-hmm.
So I think the opposite on it, especially all the fancy shit where they go like between they cover this hole and there's like this small of a hole left. Watch this dude sink it right in between. They're not knock a single one of that dude's bags in.
not to
That's
say
nasty.
there's not entertaining moments.
It's
So that's a
nasty.
moment. 99% of it is not that.
I could get stuck on that.
So,
I thought you were gonna go a different route. Some baseball, some hockey.
yeah, I had to go something different.
Yeah. Okay.
So, it's awfully nice of you. Badminton. Fuck you.
Badminton. I did ponder
Badminton's
that
fun.
one, but
You were
I-
playing,
no.
I have played it. So
No,
I'm
we're
like,
not talking
I
about
don't
playing. We're not talking about playing.
watching. Yeah, I can see
Watching.
that.
know. Yeah. I don't know. That was nice. Do that
I
again.
love the sound effects.
All right, one more time because I'm not quite getting the image.
Are you
of
getting a
Batman.
semi chub over there?
Well,
Both his hands are under the table.
Yeah, they are.
I was already at full mast
He's
when I
flicking that
came in
bean
here,
over there.
So get
Flicking that bean.
all right. So my last one. Would you rather have no arms or legs?
No legs.
No legs.
I'm going no legs.
No legs all day.
Yep.
There's no way I'm not going without arms. Dude, I'll walk around with the hands. I'll go with that. What is that old boy that does it on the movie?
Forrest Gump?
No. He walks around with his arms. He has like Shallow Hal. He has like the ape friend has spina bifida.
yeah,
and he
yeah.
like walks around on his hands and shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
Guys with they primarily use their arms. They're always jacked, right?
Yeah.
Oh
They're
yeah.
always super jacked.
Yeah.
And then
There's no way
we're all
that
married.
Yeah.
So if let's say our wives leave us, we can still
yeah.
take care of business. if
Yeah,
we
take
need
care of
to,
us.
right?
What do you mean even leave us?
Right.
Like
Well, you know what I'm saying.
when
That-
you're in
that
a
makes
dry
it a lot
spell.
more common.
Well, at least you can't walk out on her.
Love it.
Dude, ouch. And I can still keep my pin pants strong.
Oh yeah.
Right. What
Just
are you going with?
joking. Just joking.
Yeah,
She beats me.
Jeez.
About to get stabbed. What about you?
And they know
Yeah.
my wife. They
I think
know
we're
that's
kind of
fact.
all on the same page
Yeah.
there. I mean, yeah. You got to
Dude,
keep the
there-
hands.
there's no
Gotta
way.
keep the arms.
There's so many advancements with like I can get the legs and shit. You know what I'm saying? You can get You get fake legs. I'll get a motorized fucking thing that goes around. Yeah, no, we're not done with the hands. I gotta feel.
Right.
Gotta feel.
Yeah.
That one was a little too easy. The other one was really
it wasn't at first, but so we did this thing when can't remember what grade I was in, 7th, 8th grade, maybe not. Maybe I was in high school, but basically drew out of a hat, and you would have to miss a limb for the day, and so if you didn't have a leg, you had to like pick it up and use crutches all day, or an arm, you had to put it in a sling and couldn't use it, or a hand or whatnot. That wasn't the worst one. The worst one was no thumbs. Having no thumbs. Imagine having no thumbs.
Yeah.
Like
That'd be tough.
you're trying
Yeah.
to. You can't.
No.
You can't even like get a drink. You can't.
That
Can't grip a pencil.
Yep. That'd
Like
be
they
hard.
couldn't write.
That would suck. The thumb is pretty
Yeah.
goddamn important.
Yeah.
I could probably lose, as long as I had these two more specific. I could make any one of them work, but I bet you if all the rest of these three got lopped off and I have at least my pointer and my thumb, I could make that work. And mini levels.
Many levels.
So yeah, that's all I got.
All right. We ready to roll into some picks?
Yeah, let's do this. We
Let's
got the NFL playoffs, baby.
Yes, we do.
Starting tomorrow afternoon, 3:30 Central Time. Who wants to get off, Jimmer? What do you got, man? Let's go through them.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and roll through my upset picks first. I have the 49ers covering that 3 against the boys. I think they win.
My guy.
I'm not talking about a blowout. I think this is going to be a very entertaining game. I'm thinking somewhere between 23 to 30 points. As in the game will be that close. It'll be 28 to 30. That's what I'm saying. Like something like that. It'll be a close one. It'll be like maybe a kicker. Kicker wins her. I have the Steelers covering 12.5 at the Chiefs. Not by much. I'm not saying I don't believe they win this game. That isn't what I'm saying. So 12.5, I think they get inside that. I think it'll be 10. That defense will be competitive enough. That offensive line hasn't shown continuity this year. And TJ Watt is still out in the field unless he gets pulled off. So I think they'll play for at least enough pride to where they're inside that 12.5 points. And then I got the Raiders plus 4.5 at the Bengals. Now, I could see this literally going either which way. When I was like kind of deciding this one, I could see the Bengals blowing them out. Could. But every time I think that, I thought we were sticking a fork in the Raiders. They weren't. We're still talking about the Raiders, and it's week 1 of the playoffs, right?
100%.
I'm taking the Raiders to cover the 4.5. I think it'll be a field goal game.
So I want this to be different. Tell me cover or not, but I want you to pick the game too.
Yeah.
We want to go picks. Actual picks of the
yep.
games.
And
Oh, I just told you the one. I just told you two. Yeah.
The Raiders, though, that one you got covering, but what does that mean?
I did. I just said that it's still a field goal. It's a field goal win. Bengals.
Win. Bengals. Okay.
No, I wouldn't have said the Raiders to win.
Okay.
I said 4.5 to be inside that field goal.
Okay, so you have the Niners, Chiefs, and Bengals is who you got for those first 3. Besides the cover or not.
Niners, Chiefs, Bengals.
Okay. Cool.
Then I got for Stone Cold Locks. I had the Bills -4 against the Patriots, and it also helps even more. And this is before, and I made these picks actually before all mine were off of FanDuel, by the way. And I made these picks before the Isaiah Wynn thing, before I even seen that, and that makes it even better. So, rookie quarterback without his top pass protector. And then I had the Bucks -8.5 against the Eagles. I think the Eagles could get inside this. Could.
What was it when you saw it? 8.5?
8.5.
Oh, shit. It was 4.5 today.
mm-hmm.
I just filled this out today.
I just did it a couple hours ago, and it was 4.5.
So that it's trimmed down that much. It was
Yeah.
8.5 when I looked at it.
Yeah. Well, look at the losses. The Buccaneers aren't. They don't even know if Fournette will play quite yet. I mean,
Maybe. I literally did. I did my picks this morning though, so it was 8.5. So it changed 4 points and.
Yeah. I just did mine before we started, yeah.
Okay. Well, way to come prepared.
I did not today, man.
Jeez.
We got her done, though.
Okay. So I'll even still that makes it even better. That makes my Stone Cold Lock that much better. 4.5. Now it's all day. The 8.5 I was a little like because Eagles can kind of get up in there. They've been playing a little better defense and they've been controlling their games. Their winning ways last month and a half off of running the football. Now you're going strength against strength. Buccaneers are pretty damn good against the run. And then you're going to ask, and I don't have a problem with him or anything like that, but then you're going to ask Jalen Hurts to win the game for you. I don't think he's ready for that. Not against the Bucs at the Bucs. So, and then I had the Rams covering 3.5. Usually against Cardinals. Usually I have I go that 3 version here. But I just have a feeling that the Rams defense is kind of clicking a little bit right now. I'm banking on Matthew Stafford not throwing a pick 6 and just throwing like a 3-touchdown game or more and kind of clicking. Cardinals have been in disarray. They've been hanging in the games. They've had the lead late in the games and then they give them up. Something isn't quite right, and I'm going to ride that tail. So that's where I'm at.
Boom.
Okay.
Rio, how about you, man?
Yeah, so I stayed away from like the plus and the minuses this one and
so
the
you're
differences.
chicken. So you're chicken.
No, taking everything just straight up because I think bad teams are just so capable of playing up in the playoffs that games can potentially be way closer, even if it's a bad team. I'm taking Bengals over Raiders. They're minus 230 favorites. Taking them. I could see this being a blowout. I could see the Bengals just running all over them. Taking Bills over Patriots, minus 230 favorites. I just think they take care of business. You talked about Mac Jones being a rookie. You need that experience going into the playoffs, so I think Bills take this game. No problem. I have Buccaneers over the Eagles, minus 375 favorites. I just think with Tom Brady, you can't, especially this first round, I think they're going to win. I do think it's close and not as deceiving as the first game. Like I said, the Eagles kind of come back, but I think this will be a little bit closer game. Eagles are kind of rolling. Buccaneers without some of their top weapons. Ultimately, though, I think Buccaneers can pull it out 7, maybe 10. I do have Cowboys over 49ers. They're minus 162 favorites. I could see this being a really high-scoring game, and the defense is going to be left at home. But I do have Cowboys over 49ers here. A lot of money on this game for myself already. I'm taking Chiefs over the Steelers and minus 720. So, big-time favorites there. I just think Steelers eked their way into the playoffs. They got lucky, ultimately. And Chiefs, they're just not going to be able to slow the Chiefs down here. And they'll get blown out. So someone's going to get upset, and this is where I went with mine. And I'm going to take the Cardinals over the Rams in a very close game. Divisional game, so it's going to be, it makes it even tougher. That's what's going to let the Cardinals, I do like the Rams, but I don't know, just the way everybody's counting them out already. The Cardinals out, and I think they're going to come in and kind of ball out and play with them, and this could be a last possession kind of deal. So I'm just going to kind of lean that way. They're plus 166. So this will be a really good game.
Okay. Yeah, so the only thing that all three of us, well, there's 2 games that we all agreed on. It's the Bills and the Bucs. The Patriots was tough.
Excuse me?
The Patriots game was tough for me because...
Wait, hold on. You didn't take the...
I did not. So you got to go quarterback in the playoffs, and I think Josh Allen is going to take care of business. And then the Patriots have some issues, like you said, especially on that line. The Bills are going to end up beating the Pats. I'm with you there. The Bucs, I think that game is going to be great. I think the Eagles are going to make it way more fun than what a lot of people expect.
Oh, yeah.
But you just can't bet against Tom Brady, right? Especially in the first round of the playoffs. So the Bucs take care of business there. I'm with you guys on that. The one thing neither one of you thought was the Raiders would actually pull it off against the Bengals. This entire year hasn't made any sense for the Raiders. I'm going to pick the Raiders to beat the Bengals. When I looked, Bengals were favored by 4.5. I'm going to go ahead and take the Raiders. It seems like it's been stupid to bet against them all year, and I'm going to go ahead and ride that at least for one more game. I do have the Niners as well as Jimmer beating the Cowboys. I just think the matchup isn't great. The Niners are playing hot. If the Cowboys get, like we talked about this earlier, if they can get both sides of the ball rolling, they should be basically the favorite in my opinion. They're healthy-ish minus your receiver situation. Defense is getting healthier. I don't think they're there yet. I think the Niners beat them in a close game. The Chiefs and Steelers was a more interesting game than I really figured when I kind of came to look at it. So when Watt is playing, they're 9-2. They're 0-5 without him, and he's playing in this game. So it's like, okay, you could look at it that way, but can the Pittsburgh offense hang with what the Chiefs are going to do at some point? The Chiefs might get a lull in the game, but there's still going to be a point where they drop like 3 straight touchdowns. I don't think Pittsburgh can do that, even with the bad Chiefs defense, so the Chiefs are going to win that game.
Yeah.
And then the last game, Rams and Cardinals, I do agree that it's going to be a good game. If the Cardinals can get that pressure up the middle, that's what's been fucking Stafford. If they can get that pressure up the middle, this might be a different game. But I do have the Rams beating the Cardinals in this one. And Jimmer, I know how you feel about Stafford. Will it change your opinion about him if he can't get it done first round of the playoffs? He's never won a playoff game. With all these expectations.
No and yes. Yes and no. So what I mean by that is, Rio already alluded to it. They are playing their division opponent the first round. They're very, very, very familiar with each other. This is a very prideful thing, too, on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to get everyone's A-game, chippiness, whatever. If they were, I don't know if my opinion would change of them. If they were playing anybody else that wasn't in their division, yes, and they lost, yeah, it would change. Cardinals gives them a little leeway inside of me because of the division. It's in division. This can literally flip-flop either which way, and you wouldn't be shocked by it. I wouldn't be shocked by it, I should say. But the time's got to be now, though. That's why I say yes and no. It's got to be now. It's like, come on, Matt. This is literally it. You haven't had this much talent. And yes, you're a little banged up. You're missing some guys. You're banged up yourself. But you know what? You've never had this much talent. This is your time to not just challenge, but actually you are the reason why they're going to win. You need to be the reason why they win.
Yeah.
Because this defense isn't so ridiculously good. They gave up all those pieces to get the star players, right? Those stars need to show out, and you are one of those stars on offense. You are one of those stars. This is your time. You guys need to make this happen. So that's the reason why I say yes and no. Like, I'll be a little bit, but I won't think much. It takes a little off being with the Cardinals, against the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it hurts them. The Cardinals have so many injuries. If you can at least pull off your first playoff victory here, I think that's going to change a lot about how I feel, how a lot of people feel, as far as that goes. So here's what I want to do. We got to start making bets.
I'm sitting here looking at these though, and I'm being 100% honest with you. I would be 100 times more disappointed if they lost to every one of the other NFC opponents, other than the Cardinals. As of right now, as in this, if they got matched with literally anybody else, maybe outside the Bucs, and even then I would be, because they smacked the Bucs up. So literally everybody else on there, the Cardinals that's your division. That's the reason why I wouldn't. I'm looking at the rest. I wouldn't be shocked. Even the Niners, I'd be upset. You know, yes, they came back the other night, but that was desperation mode to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
that you got every bit that they needed, and it was a good game. It was a very good game, but you got every bit of what that team had. The Cowboys, I'd be disappointed if they lost to the Cowboys. Eagles, Bucks. The Cardinals, I wouldn't be shocked. I guess I wouldn't be shocked. I'd be a little more shocked on any one of those other ones, including very smallly. The gap would be a lot smaller, but including the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think the big thing that Stafford needs to be focused on this week is getting that chemistry with OBJ. Mm-hmm. He can throw the ball to Cooper Kupp all day. That's great.
He has like 7-8 touchdowns, this man already. Are you talking about the rest of the consistency though?
To OBJ, he doesn't have 7 or 8.
He has quite whatever it is. It's almost every game he's been there, he's got a touchdown.
Yeah, I think he's got like 4 touchdowns, and that's fine. But there hasn't been a consistent connection though. I think that's going to be critical to them going further in the playoffs. What do you think about Stafford though? If he loses, how's your opinion factor in, man?
Yeah. I don't know. Jimmer said it correctly. Divisional opponent. They know each other well. The stakes are higher, right? You get kind of bragging rights. Oh, I kicked my division opponent out of the playoffs. Everything's, just so much more elevated. The attention, and
that's why he came there, though, right? He never got any of that in Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, first year getting used to everything too. Like I'd still be.
I would give him a pass this year.
I think that gets forgotten way too much. Like we expect victories no matter what in your first season of like gelling. It doesn't happen very often unless you're Tom.
Did you pick him to go to the Super Bowl?
I did pick him to go to the Super Bowl. I'm not anti that. I still think they are the best team in the NFC in a weird year. Yes, I still believe that 100%. I think they're better than the Packers. Outside of Lambeau, which they will have to go up there.
Yeah.
I think that evens the field a hell of a lot more and actually sways it the other way. But looking at all those teams, they are the most talented team, and they should be able to. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't put a little leeway in there for. I get what you're getting at. Like I can see it both ways too. That's the reason why I was trying to tell you. I was like, I see it both ways.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's interesting. That I don't know. That's a huge game, man. I know they all are, but
game.
That is huge. Yeah. So we got to make some bets, right? We got to start getting some of this 10 high down, right? So when we're looking at this, we got to do some double up bets too. You guys didn't pick the Raiders. I'm down to bet you guys on that game. And then the other two solo ones were Rio picked the Steelers, and
what? No. I picked Chiefs over Steelers.
You picked the Chiefs. Sorry. No,
I took the cover.
Oh, then I put that down wrong. Then disregard. So then Rio took the Cardinals is the other one.
Well, by the way, OBJ has 5 touchdowns with him
That's what I said.
in 8 games. You said 4.
I'm sorry.
In 8, but still in 8 games, and they're getting continuity. He has over 300 yards with him too. There is something a little missing. I do agree with you. There's something like when you watch them throw downfield, they're not quite. I'm talking about like especially deep. We're talking about 20 plus yards on the field. Every so often, there seems like there's something missing. They're on the right track. So I do agree with you in that part. But there's still, and that's continuously growing is what is going to happen. But go ahead.
Yeah, I just think it's important if they want to get to the Super Bowl. That's my point.
Yeah, so what were you saying? You're talking about he picked the Cards. I got we both had the Niners. He had the boys.
Yep.
Raiders, Bengals.
So
I can't believe you went against your Pats. You've been dick riding them all year.
Yeah, loser. So Danny will take the Raiders, and we'll take the Bengals. Whiskey wager.
Yep.
And
then
I don't know if we should be able to call this whiskey. It tastes like shit. Like let's
10 high.
10 high.
Is not great.
And then I'll take Cowboys, and you'll take 49ers.
Oh, yeah, we can do that one. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Chalker. Chalk it up.
Okay. Some whiskey wagers will be paid up.
Did you do a parlay on this weekend, Jimmy, or no?
Yeah, I did. I did. All my picks were the same thing.
Yep, I did too.
I said I had a couple small bets because the Eagles won and Steelers won were so good. If you threw even just a little bit of money on it, you'll make some cash. So I put a few dollars on both of those going that way. And then, like I said, I don't know if I typed the wrong thing in, but somehow I threw $25 on the Cardinals.
Well, confidence, shit.
I was like, okay. I just figured not all the favorites are going to win, and you got to pick the one.
They never do. So
right. Well, and that's why I was saying, looking at my picks, I'm like, okay, hold on. I was like, okay, which one is probably the most likely to happen? I'm riding with my Cowboys. That was the other one. I was like, that could maybe happen. I was like, but I'm riding with Cowboys, so I'm gonna go with Cardinals because that's division.
I gotta touch on this. I heard on the radio while I was taking Actually, it was while I was coming home from work this morning.
You didn't work last night, so.
Well, I showed up to place an appointment, and they paid me.
That they did.
And if you ask them, they paid me a ridiculous wage.
They also said that.
So I heard on I can't remember which show it was, but it was Sports Talk Radio, and I heard this guy refer to the Steelers, who I just alluded to were, when I checked, as 12.5-point underdogs. They were referring to the Steelers as David in a David versus Goliath. I was appalled by this right out of the gate.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you fucking shitting me right now? And some people may wonder why.
Why? I am wondering why, because they are big time being that minus 720.
That's not David versus Goliath. They have been Goliath throughout their whole franchise's history.
But
that is Goliath.
Not this year.
It doesn't matter.
This isn't
They're
the same
talking
team,
about
though.
this year, though. It's not the same team.
I know.
So I get what they're saying.
No. And that's the reason why I disagree.
We're not talking about
and
that.
It wasn't him, and actually I heard someone else even bring it up in there too. They're like, no, that's not even accurate. And I agree with that person. That is not accurate. This is, you are Goliath. You are still Goliath.
I don't think they're referring to their entire
No, they're
history.
not. I know they're not. I
So
know,
this
I already
year
said
they
that.
shouldn't have been in. So I get the concept.
No. You are still the Goliath. You're just Goliath with a broken leg or two.
What? No, the Steelers are bad.
No. Yes, absolutely. I'm not saying they are. I'm saying that you are Goliath. It doesn't matter.
What?
Your franchise is Goliath.
No, we're not talking about the franchise
No,
history.
we
You are referring to the franchise.
It doesn't matter.
history.
You can't ever be referred to as David when you're the Pittsburgh fucking Steelers. You can't ever be considered David when you're the goddamn New York Yankees. You cannot be considered David if you're the goddamn Cowboys. You can't do it.
They're
The Packers,
literally
you can't
talking
deceive
about,
They're
Doesn't
literally
matter. Talking about the
no,
one game.
use a different reference.
Do you understand, Danny? I think you understand.
I do.
No, I understand the
do.
reference.
Yeah.
I get the reference. I'm not stupid to the reference. What I'm saying is you use a different one. That is not. Your franchises, you can't ever be considered that because you have been winning ways for so long. I don't care if you have one down
But
year.
they're not
You're still in the
talking about
playoffs.
all those.
It don't matter.
All those
the
other years
prestige
don't
is
mean
still there.
anything.
It doesn't matter. The prestige is still
He's
there.
not talking about
Pick a
that,
different
though.
one. Pick
He's
a different
not talking about the prestige all them other years.
I understand that. Pick a different one. Pick a different analogy. They are not David versus Goliath. This is not David versus Goliath. Don't care. That's a horrible analogy.
That's not as bad as you think.
That is horrible.
It's not as bad as you
That's
think.
horrendous. I appreciate that.
No.
I appreciate you arguing with it.
No.
Because you are a little.
It's not. I get what he was trying to say, and he's talking about this year.
Yeah.
The team is bad. They shouldn't have been in, and they were playing the Chiefs,
I
who
get what they're
were
saying.
in the run for the
Is
first
he missing
seed.
the part where I understand what the dude is saying? I get that. I get what he's talking about this
Then
year.
why are you keep talking about
Because
the
it's not.
franchise history?
It still doesn't matter.
Why are you talking about the
It
franchise
still doesn't
history?
matter.
The franchise history doesn't matter.
No. David versus Goliath. You're not just David all of a sudden after 30-something odd years because you had one bad season that you're barely in the playoffs. You're not automatically David all of a sudden. You're not. Just fact.
Well, yeah, they sucked. Even after their 10 wins or whatever
No,
last year
they're still not.
was a fluke.
You still would never think of the Yankees as a David.
We're not
No
talking
way.
about the Yankees.
No, we're talking about teams of prestige for so many years. That's the same fucking thing. Yes, it is.
We're not talking about their prestige years. We're talking about this year.
Right, and they're not David. You can never be David when you were Goliath for so long.
This year
you can't
they
be
are
it.
David.
You
yes.
can't be it. No,
They-
not in this analogy.
Of that entire
You can be something
AFC
else.
picture,
You can be
they
something
are.
else. That's fine. You can be something else.
So I do have a question for you, Jimmer. So you've been a little more vocal on the Chiefs, like hating on the Chiefs this season, right? So even though
you all did. You notice how he's trying to jump off that right now.
we've all been vocal, but
Okay,
you've been
all right.
more so.
I'm
right?
glad that you finally fixed that. But
You've been more so, right? So, and the biggest reason is because they've been so successful the last couple of years. So you just hate on winning. It kind of seems like a little bit, but if the Steelers, even though they are not David,
Hold on. You want me to stop you before we get into your second part of the
No,
thing?
no, I want
'Cause
you to let him
'cause
finish.
because you just
Where he's
accused
going-
me of
where
like
he's
being hating
going.
and winning. I have no problem with the winning. I have a problem with everyone saying that they were back and they weren't playing good defense. I pointed out factual based stuff, and Mahomes is throwing off his back foot into the side, and they were sucking ass.
I'm alluding to
That's
that.
a fact. I'm not a Chiefs hater. I have no problem with the Chiefs.
I'm alluding to
Kinda are
exactly what
Chiefs
you
haters.
just
Well, because of work.
I get it. But
Like
yeah.
name another winning franchise that's winning, and I would tell you I don't care. Like
said. Okay. Maybe work plays into it, and I don't know that. So that okay,
yeah,
I get it.
there's too many stupid Chiefs fans there that you have to hear about it.
That is
So
true.
this alludes to my question, though. So you hate the David versus Goliath analogy.
Yep.
But would you ultimately be happy if Pittsburgh beat Kansas City?
No,
Okay.
I would not.
Okay. For all the same reasons you just said about
Absolutely.
the history. Okay. Interesting.
But then you can contradict either side of that by that statement I just made right there, because Chiefs have been winning of recent history. The Steelers haven't, especially this year. So Yeah.
I feel like you came into this and you didn't expect, especially.
No, I did expect it. I expected
did?
one. There's
Okay.
no way that all three of us were going to agree with that, and I knew this little dipshit would, because he normally does. But go
I
ahead.
think you
didn't even bring up.
You're not even talking about this year. You're bringing up the past. He's literally talking about this year.
I'm bringing both. Yes, I am. I'm saying you can't. It doesn't matter.
He's
if
talking
you
about
won
this year. I get what the guy was saying. He's talking about this year. They shouldn't be in. The Steelers should not be in.
Can we stop talking for 2 seconds? You just take everything we just said and just keep like looping it, because that's all we're doing right now.
Yeah.
We literally just said the same thing 17 times. I get it. You don't get that. I do get it. Gotcha. On to you. What was your choice?
Yeah, I'm not passionate either way. I can understand somebody calling him a David this year, right? I can understand that. But I get your point. You're thinking bigger picture than just this year too. So I get that. I don't give a shit about the Steelers at all, so I don't care what people call them. So I'm not.
They're gonna lose.
I don't have a dog in the race, I guess. But I get what you're saying. I get where you're coming from for sure. Yeah.
I just find it very hard to believe to call someone ever a David when you've been a Goliath for so damn long, just because you have 1 year bad.
So if they called New England David, you'd be upset too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Why you wouldn't be?
Yeah, it's
Come
a different team
on.
though. It's a different team.
No,
though.
that's still the same almost as many championships. I think they're like one off from each other. The same thing. So, but it's more recent history than the Steelers.
Yeah.
That's about the only difference between the two, right?
Yeah, I think the Steelers are tied for the most Super Bowls, right?
I may have a little less flack with the Patriots because they didn't do it for more than the last 20 years. The Steelers have been doing it since, the 70s?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on. Yankees have 27 fucking championships. They can never be a David. Never. That's my point. You can't. You've won them so many times. You're the second team.
Yeah, I get it.
Doesn't
I'll
matter.
let you guys battle that out. I don't care enough, but I get where you're both coming from. So I'll be the moderator.
But just pick a different one. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Pick a different analogy. Because, yes, they're the way big underdog in this. They're the way less talented team than the Chiefs in this one. It's on the road. Big Ben, your quarterback doesn't have an arm left. Absolutely the biggest underdog. And it'd be a shock if you upset the Chiefs. Does not make you David versus Goliath.
Goliath
no,
story.
It's not. No. For one time. They have been a Goliath for so long. Don't matter. Appreciate that one, though. Where are we going? Where you got?
That wasn't bad. That's pretty much what we wanted to go through.
Yeah.
Playoff picks and things like that. Were there any more questions you guys had out there?
No, what I do for next time. We got plenty of stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Rio, I know you said you had a good, it makes sense if you don't think about it to bring up. So,
well, we are going to talk about a story that just recently happened and come up across the news waves, and we're going to let everybody else out there hear it if they haven't heard it already. So Drake, the rapper, everybody knows Drake. He apparently met this Instagram model somewhere, partying and whatnot, and things got hot and heavy, right? And they did the deed. So he was being safe, put a condom on, right? And after they got done, he went to the bathroom, took it off, and apparently threw it away. Must have thrown it in the trash can or something like that. And the girl goes in the bathroom, and all of a sudden she was like screaming and yelling. Well, apparently she took this condom that had, sperm inside of it,
yes,
and tried to impregnate herself with it. And but little did she know up until that point that our guy Drake had apparently put hot sauce in this condom when he says that it kills the sperm, which for those out there, there's no scientific proof that we know. I did look it up a little bit, and I was interested, like, what the hell? There is no scientific facts or proof that hot sauce does kill sperm. And so now she is suing Drake for, I didn't see the amount, but suing him for this. Yeah. What's your thoughts?
Okay.
So there's two different avenues here for it makes sense, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's clearly two.
Yeah, I mean, you could take this.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, you could take this a few different ways. First of all, fucking props to Drake. You're a genius.
Yeah, a genius.
For trying
Jesus.
something, right?
He knew exactly. Yeah. Obviously, this has happened before.
Yeah.
Girls trying to trap him, is.
Yeah, yeah. So here's the deal. part of this is like he's like, bitch, if you're gonna do that, you're gonna burn.
Oh,
because he could flush
yeah.
that shit down the toilet if he didn't want to
Exactly.
use
Oh
it,
yeah.
right?
I'm not gonna say he didn't know exactly what he was doing.
Yeah.
You know.
But also, if you're the Instagram model, first of all, you must not be that famous.
First off, you shouldn't be throwing it down a damn toilet. A condom?
I'm saying if
Rubber?
you want to get rid of
Right,
it,
but if he,
You
if,
should be able
if
to throw it in
he,
the trash can.
right, if he was,
Maybe he's had problems in the past flushing him down the toilet, and he's like, hold on, I got to do something
well,
else
he's
here.
I wonder. Well, that's what I'm saying. He probably was like,
Do you think it was sadistic? Is that what you're leaning at, though?
right. He was like,
Do
okay,
you
I'm gonna
think that-
see if this girl is like truly legit or not, and she wants to hang out with me or whatever.
But isn't that her fault for sticking the fucking condom back up in there?
1,000,000%.
well, it was
It's all
a
her
test
fault.
for him, basically.
Oh yeah, for him.
I think, yeah.
But like
'Cause he could have
there
got
should-
rid of it.
My point is, there should be absolutely no merit to a lawsuit here, right?
Yes,
No,
exactly.
No merit. No merit. Yeah.
Hold on, you willingly took a condom out of the trash can
Right.
Try to impregnate yourself.
and tried, and you had to turn it inside out to push it up in you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then okay, and then
Craziest thought to do, right?
beyond that, you guys, she fucking told everybody she did this.
Yes.
And is trying to sue him.
And
for
then
it.
trying to sue
Like,
him still.
Bitch, how much credibility do you think you have at this point?
Yeah, you're not even going to get a settlement.
No, there's nothing.
You
Matter of
get
fact,
nothing.
he might be able to try to sue you for stealing his fucking sperm.
No
Right.
This
kidding.
could get flipped around. I don't
Well, yeah,
know.
like hold on, I'm gonna go ahead and pay you $100,000 in this lawsuit to settle it, but I'm also criminally charging you too.
Yep.
Like go to prison with that $100K.
Yeah.
Like,
Figure out what
you
she
know
was
what?
trying to get you,
know what?
for.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what the life sentence should be? 18 years.
Yep.
Get it.
Or not
Yeah.
life sentence. The sentence should
Yeah.
be 18 years. Is how long you're about to go do prison time for trying to do that.
No
You
kidding.
need to set something like that,
Or
like to where
that's
there
where I
has
was
to be a
going, too.
serious punishment.
Yeah, whatever the amount was that she was trying to get you for, she's got to pay you that now for 18 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay?
There you go.
You were trying to do that? Listen, bitch, we're not going to let this go.
Yep.
You're right. Serious precedent has to be set because how often does that shit happen and people don't know about it?
right?
Mhm.
Probably more than we think.
Yeah, you think, oh, the condom broke or something. First of all, I don't know if you've ever seen those condom tests, but those fucking things are basically impossible to break or cut through anymore. So I think that's out the window when people say that. But
I've seen it happen once, so.
damn. Hey, he also didn't have a Ziploc baggie. He used a real condom.
He did not have
So,
a man,
props to
my
him for
boy
that.
had some. Right? Man, if you had a Ziploc baggie, you could have just pocketed that and took it home and disposed of it properly.
No doubt, man.
Where's wisdom? Well, there's two of them. For the guys in this situation, always carry hot sauce.
Whatever way you want to go, red
For sure.
hot.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Cholula.
sriracha.
Little Cholula.
Little
Just keep it
Cholula.
in the holster.
Keep it in the holster.
Spin it around. All right. And
Oh,
for
man.
females, don't try to do this. Obviously, he
Come on.
guy wore a condom for a reason, want to be safe and whatnot. But like, come on, don't do this.
Any way to try to get, like, seriously, any way to get money and set
Set
yourself
up for
up.
life.
I'm like,
Yep.
come on.
That's all she was doing.
Jimmer, I don't know if you heard the stats on this, but Rio, do you want to go ahead and run through the stats that you gave me before the show on Drake's?
Love life?
No, on his.
Oh yeah. So I'll give you the stats. So she come out and did a lot of talking about this whole encounter, right? And she was like, yeah, we hit it off and whatnot, and went back to his place, and he was about 7 inches long, and we had sex for about 20 minutes, and it was like, dude, Drake, high five. You're average one of us.
It's one of the boys.
Fella,
Yeah.
what's
Let's
up,
go.
guy?
Yeah, appreciate
Let's
you.
go.
Number one.
Yeah, way to be one of the
And
guys.
20 minutes, actually, kudos. He must have got hammered because a brand new woman.
Well, she didn't
And you
say
lasted 20 minutes?
Maybe that's from foreplay all the way to the end.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
maybe.
that's what I'm taking it as.
Yeah.
So I mean, boom, just
You know what's funny about
Normal
like
guy.
7 inches, 5 inches, a foot long, 12 foot? Which one of these women actually is carrying it?
Subway sandwiches.
Yeah,
no,
no, but
just
I'm being real.
advertisement.
Like, how many of these women pull out a fucking tape measure? Like, woman, you do
Right.
not know what inches are. Stop it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
100%.
Yeah, the dude, it might be legitimately that. It might even land there. But you do not know. Does your wife know, like, general measurements?
No, she
Like,
wouldn't.
legitimately?
Well, yeah, she knows that. Oh, if I cut
That
5
is-
inches of hair off. That's a lot, and I just like
Yeah, that's the only time they know measurement, though. It would be something like
right
that.
when they cut hair off
Yeah.
themselves.
I'm like, come on.
You have to side eye like, bitch.
Yeah, what the
Yeah.
hell?
She's like,
Yeah,
it
you're
was like-
disrespecting me.
Yeah, it goes like this. It was like a foot long. I'm like, you realize that's 2 feet right there.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm like, come on. Like, she doesn't know what 7 inches is unless she has it gauged up in there.
Right.
That's a good point. You think she went high? You think it's more like 5.5?
It could have been high.
Okay.
Or maybe she hadn't only had something smaller than that before, but it was actually big the whole time. I don't know. You can go many different ways. But you don't know. Come on. Don't be throwing inches out there. You can read a clock. I do believe that it took 20 minutes. But don't be dropping like you busted out a tape measure. Like, what you hanging with here, baby boy?
Whatever. I'm
also,
going with.
Like, what kind of hoe are you where you feel like you're insulting the man saying he's only got 7 inches going on? Like, first of all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Salute.
Yeah.
No kidding. I don't know what her deal is, but it was not a smart plan.
It's not very ladylike in any form or facet, but then you're going to go out there and talk about the whole thing anyway. I'm like,
yeah, you basically dry
snitch
snitch on yourself.
Yeah.
And then this was not a well thought out plan. And you got hot sauce in your box. So
yeah.
I'd like to listen to some of those like interviews. Like, did they ask her? Like, so you were trying to get yourself pregnant after he left, is what you're saying?
I bet you nobody asked
that, right?
The police report. Yeah. What do you say? Like, so y'all did not have. You had consensual sex, but you unconsensually tried to impregnate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
How does that even? How is that even allowed for her to file a lawsuit?
Right. That should be not only thrown out and then be like, hey. Whoever's looking at it, they're like, appreciate you. You just admitted to what you did. We're going to go ahead and charge you.
Right, exactly.
You know, like that should be end of discussion. There has to be a severe punishment for doing shit like that. There has to be a severe punishment for when you do a false rape claim.
Yep.
Because that ruins people's lives, right?
Yeah.
When you have something like that happen.
Yep.
You ruin their lives forever.
I've heard of thousands of athletes, lots of athletes that way.
And then it happens the other way. It also takes away, after we've heard so many of them, right?
You don't take it serious.
You don't take it serious for the women that actually, and people that actually are raped.
Yep.
Yeah.
You take it away from that. Like, there needs to be a punishment, a severe enough punishment to where it isn't worth it.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, like, what's the...
20 years.
What would it... No. Like, just the way it is right now, right? Mm-hmm. Extortion is what she was trying to... Like, is that the best thing? Probably closest? I don't know.
No, it just needs to be its own. They need to make a law for it right now. It doesn't even need to put extortion. It needs to be trying to make that baby better.
Dude,
but he made it.
He made the baby batter.
He did.
She was trying to get it turned into a muffin.
Yeah.
What kind of, like... The man's a fucking genius, though, right? We can all agree on that. That's
he was trying at least, right?
Yeah.
He
put her to the test, and she failed.
And she failed horribly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shit. Right on. Well, anything else over there, Jimmer? How you sitting?
I'm good, gentlemen. I think we got. Yeah. I have something for the next one.
We have covered everything.
Yep.
Boom. I love it. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in tonight. In this wonderful area of Iowa, I don't know how many inches. I bet we've got 6-8 inches at this point of snow.
Yeah.
So Jimmer will be dropping his ass into the snow tomorrow. So look out for the pictures, videos, everything.
I'll trust my wife to take the video. You guys will be present.
We've got. Well, we're gonna have a. It's gonna be in the snow, right? The camera's gonna be facing up in the snow when you're doing this. Isn't that?
You want to see something like that? You nasty son of a bitch. Have you ever seen the boob challenge? Do you know what I'm talking about? You don't see anything.
Yeah, you don't see
anything. You take
anything.
it from the side.
I'm just kidding, dude.
Yeah, but make sure you take a good shower tonight. I don't want to see any brown streaks once you stand up.
Make no such
promises.
Oh, Rousey must have pissed there before I did it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh
man.
Well, yeah. Thanks again for listening. Make sure to check us out. And you know what? When we go through these playoff picks, we'll post them on Facebook and the socials. Let us know what you think. If you think we need to talk about some different things, whatever the case. Maybe there's something we're not thinking about. That could always happen, too.
Yep.
Not very often. We're never wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Just misinformed. But other than that, we need them to check out the podcast. Where's it at, Jimmer?
Spotify, Apple, Facebook,
YouTube,
and anywhere else they can possibly think of. If you're one of the few that uses Google Podcasts. This one called what is it, Reaper or something? It's all over. It gets distributed everywhere. Let's roll. Let's
do it. And it all goes down
in the DMs, folks. If you've got to make sense, you don't think about it. Words of wisdom, shoot it into us. We'll get it out to the folks, and everybody can enjoy a laugh. And hit us up.
Let's go. I love it. We love the interaction. Excited for the NFL playoffs. Thanks again, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Gig Sports.
We out. Made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions. I've been writing. I love it.